It was a cold winter evening in Berlin, and Detective Emma Rifter sat in her small office. She had solved many cases in her career, but this one was different. A mysterious letter had arrived at her desk earlier that day. The letter was simple, just a few lines, but it carried a heavy message. Find the truth buried beneath the streets of Berlin. It will change everything. A friend. Emma had heard stories about hidden secrets beneath Berlin's streets, especially in the old parts of the city. But she never thought someone would ask her to uncover them. With the letter in hand, Emma stood up and grabbed her coat. It was time to find answers. Her first stop was the old subway station at Alexanderplatz. The station had been abandoned for years, and rumors had always circulated about strange things happening there. Some people said they had seen shadowy figures in the tunnels, while others claimed to have heard whispers in the dark. Emma carefully walked into the station, her footsteps echoing through the empty platform. The place felt eerie, but she was used to this feeling. She wasn't scared. She had a job to do. The letter had mentioned something about buried truth, and Emma's instincts told her that the station was important. She decided to explore the old tunnels beneath it. As she walked down a dark corridor, the air grew colder and the silence became thicker. It felt as though the walls themselves were hiding something. After what seemed like hours, Emma stumbled upon an old wooden door hidden behind piles of dust and debris. The door was locked, but Emma wasn't going to give up so easily. She pulled out her tools and managed to unlock it. Inside, the room was small and dimly lit by a single flickering light. But what caught Emma's attention was the large wooden chest in the corner. It was old, covered in cobwebs, and had strange markings carved into it. She approached it carefully and opened the chest. Inside, there was a pile of old papers and photographs. At first glance, they seemed like ordinary items, but as Emma looked closer, she realized that the papers contained something extraordinary: maps of Berlin, with certain locations marked in red. The photographs showed old buildings, some of which Emma recognized from the city's past. Then, her eyes fell upon a letter, written in a language she didn't understand. It seemed ancient, but there was something familiar about it. Emma took out her phone and quickly translated the text. It was a message from a secret group that had been operating in Berlin during the Cold War. The group had uncovered a massive conspiracy that involved the city's leaders, but before they could expose the truth, they were silenced. The letter revealed that the conspiracy had to do with a hidden treasure buried beneath the city, a treasure that could change the course of history. The group had planned to dig up the treasure, but they were betrayed. The treasure was never found. Emma knew she had to find the treasure. She believed that the buried truth in the letter was more than just a metaphor. The treasure wasn't just gold or jewels. It was the key to uncovering the dark history that Berlin had tried to forget. With the new information in hand, Emma began to trace the locations on the map. Each marked spot seemed to tell a part of the story, leading her to a series of underground bunkers hidden beneath the city. As she ventured deeper into the tunnels, Emma realized that someone else was following her. She could hear footsteps behind her, but every time she turned around, no one was there. Her heart raced. Whoever had sent the letter was watching her. Finally, Emma reached the last marked location, a narrow hidden passageway beneath a derelict building in East Berlin. She entered cautiously, the air growing thicker with every step. At the end of the passage, she found an old door, rusted with age. She opened it, and inside was a large room filled with old documents and dusty shelves. On one of the shelves, Emma found a small metal box. She opened it, and inside, she discovered the treasure, a series of old, sealed documents. These papers contained secrets about Berlin's leaders and their role in the Cold War. The documents exposed a dark chapter in the city's history, one that the world had never known. Just as Emma was about to leave with the box, she heard a voice behind her. "You've found it, haven't you?" She spun around to see a man standing in the shadows. He was tall, wearing a dark coat, and his face was hidden by a scarf. He stepped forward, revealing himself as someone Emma recognized from her past, a former spy who had disappeared years ago. The man smiled. "I knew you would uncover the truth, Emma. But now, I can't let you leave with it." Emma knew she had to act fast. She pulled out her gun, aiming it at the man. "I won't let you stop me." For a moment, they stood facing each other in silence. Then, the man raised his hands in surrender. "I'm not here to stop you. I'm here to help you." Emma lowered her gun, confused. "Help me? Why?" The man explained that he had been part of the secret group that had discovered the buried truth years ago. He had been trying to protect the documents all these years, but he had been hunted by those who wanted to keep the truth hidden forever. Now, he was ready to reveal everything. Together, Emma and the man made their way back to the surface, carrying the documents with them. They knew they had to expose the truth, no matter the cost. As Emma walked out the tunnels and into the cold Berlin night, she couldn't help but feel that the city would never be the same. The truth, finally out, buried no more,